we have seen how to navigate between routes using router link directive in Angular. So we learned that router link is a directive which we use to bind any clickable HTML element to a route. And we have used router link on anchor element and the button element. And when the user clicks on that HTML element, the router will navigate to the associated route. So router link is a directive which we use in the view template to navigate between routes. Now in this lecture, you will learn how to navigate between routes programmatically. So in the last lecture, we added a router link directive on this button element. So if I go to VS Code, there inside this popular component, we have that button. And on that button, we are using this router link directive. And to that, we have assigned a path. So whenever this button will be clicked, the user will be redirected to this path. And here, since we are using a slash before the path, here it is going to use absolute path. That means this path will be appended to root URL. Now what I want is, instead of using this router link directive here on this button element, I want to write the redirection logic in the component class. So there, I want to redirect the user programmatically. For that, first of all, I will remove this router link directive from this button element. And on this button element, I am going to bind click event. And in order to bind an event, we need to wrap it within parentheses like this. And to this, I'm going to assign a method. And I'll call it maybe navigate to courses. You can name this method anything. Now let me go ahead and let me create this method in the component class. So this view, it is for popular component. So let's go to the component class of that popular component. Okay. And in here, I'm going to create a method. And inside this method, I'm going to write the logic to navigate the user to the courses component. Now, in order to work with routing inside this component class, we need an instance of router class inside this component class. For that, we are going to ask Angular to inject an instance of the router class inside this component class. And to do that, I am going to create a property. I'll simply call it as router. It is going to be of type router. And in order to use this router, we also need to import it from Angular/router. So let's go ahead and let's write that import statement. We want to import router from Angular/router. Okay. And here we want Angular to inject an instance of this router class. For that, from Angular/go, I am already importing this inject method. So I'm going to use that inject method. And there I will specify the type for which we need an instance. Here we need an instance of router class. Okay, so in this way, we will have an instance of this router class inside this router property. Now let's go ahead and let's access this router property. For that, we can say this dot router. And on this router, we are going to call a method called navigate. So using navigate method, we can navigate from one route to another route programmatically. And the navigate method takes an array as an argument. And in that array, we can specify route segments. For example, let's say using the navigate method, we want to navigate user to this URL. So in this URL, first we have this localhost colon 4200, which is the root URL. And then we have three segments. We have books, author, and 101. So in this case, the path will be /books/author/101. But when we are going to use the navigate method, there we need to specify each of these segments as an element of an array. So to this navigate method, here we are passing an array, and in that array, we are specifying these segments as an element of that array. So to this navigate method, we need to pass an array, and in that array, we can specify the URL segments as the element of that array. So here, let's go ahead and let's pass an array. Now here what we want is, whenever this button in the web page is clicked, so this button is clicked, we want to navigate the user to root URL/courses page. So if I type root URL/courses, there we have all our courses. So we want to navigate the user to this URL. Now in this URL, we have only one route segment, which is this courses. So we are going to specify that inside this array. Okay, with this, let's save the changes. And now if you remember, from here, we have removed the router link directive. So now when the navigation will work, it will be working because of this one line of code. Okay, so the navigation will take place by this navigate method. Let's go to the web page and let's see if it works or not. So let's go to home page. Let's scroll down, and from here, let's click on this go to courses page. And you will notice that we are successfully redirected to the courses page. And in the URL, you can see root URL/courses. So this navigate method, it is working as expected. Now we also have another method for navigation. So let me comment this line here and let's look at that another method. So that method is, again, we are going to access it on this router object, and the method name is navigateByUrl. So we use navigateByUrl method also to navigate from one route to another route programmatically. And the navigateByUrl method, it takes a string value as an argument, and that string value should contain all the route segments. For example, if we want to navigate user to this URL, in this URL we have the root URL/book/author/101. So in that case, when we use navigateByUrl method, there we will have to specify this path, this /book/author/101 as one string value, like we are doing here. In here, when the user clicks on that button, we want to navigate the user to the courses path. So here I can simply specify a string value. In that I can say courses. And this navigateByUrl method should also be navigating us to the courses page. So let's save the changes. Let's go back to the web page. Let's go to the home page. And from there, when I click on this go to courses page, it is taking us to the courses page. So it is working as expected. So you can use either navigate method or navigateByUrl method. Now, one very important point to note here is that when we specify a path for navigate method or navigateByUrl method, by default, that path is absolute path. So from our previous lecture, if you remember, we have learned that when we specify a slash before a path, in that case, that path is absolute path. If we don't specify a slash, in that case, that path is relative path. But in case of navigate method or navigateByUrl method, by default, any path which we specify, that is an absolute path, even if we are not using a slash. And that's why here you see we have not specified a path. So if I go to the web page and if I go to the home page, the currently active path is this path, root URL/home. So here, when I click on this button, if this path is the relative path, in that case, this path should be appended to this active URL, right? But that is not happening. When I click on this button, that courses is being appended to the root URL. That's because, as I mentioned, by default, the path which we pass to navigate method or navigateByUrl method, that path is absolute path. That is not relative path. Now, what if we want to use relative path? Well, for that, we cannot use navigateByUrl. So this is out of option, but we can use navigate method. And there also, by default, the path is absolute path. But in order to make this path a relative path, here we can specify an object, and in that object we need to set relative to property, and to that value we need to assign the currently active route. Now in order to get the information about the currently active route, we need an instance of another class inside this popular component class, and that instance is activated route class instance. So for example, let's go ahead and let's create another property here. I'll call it active route. You can name this property anything. And this is going to be of type activated route. Okay, and in order to use this activated route, so this R should be caps. And in order to use this activated route, again, we need to import it from Angular/router. And here we want Angular to inject an instance of this activated route class. So let me go ahead and let me copy this class name and let's specify it here. Okay, so in this way, inside this property, we will have an instance of activated route class. And this activated route class, it simply provides us information about the currently active route. And that information we want in order to set the relative to property of this object. So here, let's specify the relative to property. And to that, we are going to assign this dot active route. So this active route, it is storing an instance of activated route. And that instance, it is going to store the information about the currently active route. So here we are telling navigate method that it has to append this path relative to this path. Okay, so now if I save the changes and if we go to the web page, now this courses will be a relative path. So if you go to the web page and let me go to home page. So this link, this URL, it is the currently active URL. So now when I click on this button, go to courses page button, this courses path, which we are passing to this navigate method, that will be appended to currently active route. That means in this case, that courses will be appended to this path. Let's actually see that. So when I click on this button, you will notice that that courses has been appended to that path. Okay, but we don't want that behavior. So let me go back and I will comment this navigate method. What you can also do is you can remove this object from here, but I'll simply keep it for your reference so that you can refer it later in the future. And I will uncomment this line. And as I mentioned, this navigate by URL, the path which we pass to this navigate by URL method, that is an absolute path by default. So if I save the changes and if we go to the web page, let's go to home page, and from there, let's click on this go to courses page button. And now it is properly taking us to the courses page. So that button is working as expected.